Hey guys, welcome back to the Girlfriends and Goals podcast YouTube channel. My name is Samaria, and I'm joined by my best friend and co-host Miosha. And today we're doing Am I the A-hole? Another wedding edition. So if you guys are interested in this, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and comment below what your thoughts are about these different scenarios, if they're the a-hole, if not, and what your justification is, because we love to read the comments. And don't forget to like this video. I don't know if I said that already, but there.
It doesn't hurt.
Right. All right. So we're going to get into the first one, which is, am I the a-hole for not changing my wedding date? So
Mm,
this is how I feel like anytime somebody starts with a story, starts a story with, so it's about to be juicy. They're like
hmm
about to set the scene. So my fiance and I have been engaged for several years. We originally had our wedding planned for 2020. Before the pandemic even started, we had a small fire at our home. So we
mm.
decided that we had to postpone the wedding for a little longer. Financially, we couldn't afford it. Then the pandemic hit. That is a tough series of events already.
Yeah.
I already, based on that, want to be like, you're not the a-hole. Like,
Yeah, we didn't
you
all
had
been through
enough.
a lot.
Yeah, you had so much happen to you. You can't be. Okay, so we took another hard financial hit from that, and wedding planning wasn't an option. Cut to this year. I'm working again, and in the spring, we decided we want to get married in late summer. Just a backyard style event. We are still having all the typical wedding things, 100 people invited, ceremony, bridal party, dances, etc. We are renting a communal space in a private community, and they only had one Saturday available for 2 months. I was quite surprised by that. Why? Saturday in the summer, girl. So we booked it. Unknowingly to us, my fiance's brother has a vacation planned for that week with his in-laws, 12-hour drive. They go every year, but I never paid any attention to the exact dates. Since they go Saturday to Saturday, I thought maybe they can come home a day early. Since we were planning this in a short time, I put several deposits down and signed contracts right away. So after I have about 90% of my vendors picked out, we find out my soon to be brother and sister in law will be gone 2 weeks. We offered to fly my brother in law in for the weekend so my fiance can have a best man and his brother there. They just aren't going to be able to make it. I'm bummed about it, and so is my fiance, but we decided to just go on planning. Now that several of our out of town guests have booked flights and invitations are being stamped, we find out they are pissed we didn't move the date to accommodate their vacation. So, am I the a hole?
Hmm. Well, my first thought is no. I will say if you plan a wedding with such short notice, that's what comes with it. If you only give people 2 months, most people do plan out their lives in terms of
Mm-hmm.
vacation and traveling further out than that. I
Mm-hmm.
would just assume that if you are trying to get it done very quickly, the caveat or the downside is that some people won't may already have plans and they won't be able to come.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will say that it sounds like you were basing your initial decision on how they usually take their trip. And so this trip sounds like they're doubling the amount of time. You even offered to fly them in and then they could go back. So it sounds like you're trying to make it work. You're doing more than what most people would.
But if she flies them in, who's gonna fly them back? Like, if
I assume that that's a part of it.
because finances are really tight from what she's
Yeah.
described, even though she's working again. I it's a tough one for me. So no, I
Yeah.
don't think that she's the a-hole at all. But I do think like it could have been planned differently.
Mhm.
As in if you know like your main people who you definitely want there, I would recommend possibly checking in with them, like the best man, the maid of honor, those people,
Mhm.
the parents. I would check with them and see, hey, we're trying to go for this date. That's the only date that they have. Does it work for you guys? So I'm
Yeah.
surprised that they didn't do that, especially because she said something about, oh, they usually go from Saturday to Saturday. I don't really pay attention to the dates. um, I would have done that. I don't think she's the a-hole. I think it was a lot of things that contributed to just being like, oh, this date is available. Let's grab it and let's put all the money down. I think communication probably should have been more frequent from what she said.
Yeah, and a part of doing it so quickly is communicating just to see if people are available because it may not have just been them who weren't available. It could have been other people as well. Because also it puts the onus on them, like, oh, well, because you have to have this venue that you really want.
Hmm.
Now it kind of throws off the flexibility
Yeah.
in terms of planning. I will say though that I don't know if this is a vacation you take every year. I don't would it be too much to say, okay, could this year be look a little different or would you be open to not going? Is that reaching?
Okay. I don't know if they go to the same place every year. So that's a question that I
Mm.
have. Are they going to the same place every year, or is it just, oh, we know that we travel with this group of people every year
Mhm.
around this time? Because if it's a different place, uh,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking if it were a sibling for me, I wonder if I would just take the L and say, okay, I'm not going to be able to make the trip this year
yeah.
because I know my sibling only gets married once. I
Hmm.
just know you owe me big time.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So the fact that they're pissed that they didn't change the wedding day after, I'm assuming they know all the struggles that they face. Like they
Mhm.
have to have known about the fire. They definitely experienced the pandemic along with them. They probably knew about the finances. Like I'm I'm surprised that they would be pissed. Like I might be irritated,
Mhm.
especially if I've like spent all this money on my vacation too,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's not money you can get back. But if you've booked an Airbnb, you can still like cancel a little bit, change the dates around. Like you can still maneuver around it. It is a headache for everyone. So this whole like, oh,
Mhm.
we decided late spring that we'll do late summer. It's like, okay, spring ends June. It's like 20th or 19th.
Yeah.
And then summer, late summer is probably like August, early September, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
June, July,
That's not a
August.
whole
Right.
lot of time.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And I
So,
think part of that is you being okay that some people won't be able to be there or
mhm,
participate in the way that you would envision
mm,
versus many people give people like a year, 6 months to a
advance.
year to
Yeah.
get it figured out. And under those circumstances, I could understand them having the expectation of, okay, can we ask for flexibility?
Yeah.
But also knowing that many people are looking to get married who missed out on the opportunity during the pandemic. So,
It's a lot
oh,
of that going on. And it's very like I don't want to say messy, because it's like you have this year's events and then you have
mhm.
events from 2 years ago that are being put into this year because so it's I think everybody is experiencing like I've experienced an issue with
Mhm.
something like that. And it's like, okay, well, we just gonna have to see what happens. Like nobody did it intentionally.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't understand them being pissed. Like they didn't say,
it
oh,
just is what it is.
right, exactly. So they are gonna have to get over it though. The brother and his the
Mm.
fiance's brother,
Fiance, yeah.
yeah, they're gonna have to get over it because it's not about them. Like these people have been through enough trying to get this
Yeah.
wedding
And at
secured.
the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to be married. So,
Yeah, so
mm,
I mean if he
yeah.
has to miss it, he has to miss it. But
Mm.
a sibling though, oh
Yeah, I would say you're not the
yeah.
a-hole. I'm comfortable with that. Y'all let us know what y'all think.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I wonder what other people like
Oh
have.
yeah, what's the gauge in the comments?
I know. Okay, so it looks like there is only one so far because this is a very new one.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have to come back to it and see what it turns out to be. But someone says wedding is greater than vacation. They go every year. Your day is once, and it's already been put off again and again. Not the a-hole. I
See.
hope that that's gonna be the consensus.
Mm. Y'all let us know.
All right. Next
Right.
one.
Yeah, we'll go on to the next one. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my friend's destination wedding? And I don't know. Will this one hit close to home? I had a destination wedding. but I didn't have any drama, thank God. Okay, my friend Sarah and I have been close since childhood. We've shared many memories and experiences, and I consider her like a sister. Recently, Sarah got engaged to her long-term partner, Mark, giving out all the business, his name and all. And they began planning a destination wedding at a luxurious resort in a tropical paradise.
Oh,
When
this does
Sarah,
hit close to home for you.
I know. When Sarah first announced the destination, I was excited for her and congratulated her wholeheartedly. However, as the wedding details unfolded, I realized attending the wedding would be a significant financial burden for me. The cost of travel, accommodation, and other expenses would eat into my savings and disrupt my budget for the foreseeable future. I work a stable job and can afford my everyday expenses comfortably, but splurging on an extravagant destination wedding just isn't feasible for me at this point in my life. Moreover, I have other financial goals, such as saving for a down payment on a house, that I need to prioritize. When Sarah asked if I would be attending, I expressed my genuine happiness for her, but explained that my financial constraints and regretfully declined. I assured her that I would be there in spirit. Mm. would and would celebrate with them during their reception back at home.
Okay.
Sarah didn't take my refusal well and accused me of not caring enough about our friendship to make an effort. She argued that if I truly valued our friendship, I would find a way to be present for her special day. She pointed out that other friends were making sacrifices to attend, and it hurt her that I wasn't doing the same. I tried to explain my position, emphasizing that it wasn't about not caring, but rather being responsible with my finances. However, Sarah remained upset and distant, making me feel like a terrible friend. Now I'm conflicted, wondering if I made the right decision. I don't want to lose our friendship, but I also don't want to put myself in a difficult financial situation for a one-day event.
Mhm.
I wonder how she feels about the person she's marrying. I wonder if that. Okay.
Yeah,
Reddit.
so you cannot be added to the drama.
I
Like,
know.
she has said nothing about Mark
I
except
know.
his name. And here you go. I wonder if there's beef between them.
Reddit. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my friend's wedding? Thoughts, Samaria?
Okay. Now, I say this with the utmost respect because I understand that this is Sarah's big day. And because it's
Mhm.
her big day, there is some allowance for like being a drama queen, right? But she has to get over herself. Unless she
Mm.
is willing to let her friend move into her house or she's willing to pay some of her friend's bills, if this girl says that she can't make it, she can't make it. And if you're doing a destination wedding, you have to understand that some people just will not be able to make it. Honestly, I thought that's one of the perks of doing a destination wedding is that a lot of people like wouldn't attend, you know?
Yeah, it controls the amount of people.
Who show up. Yeah. And so it's like to say, oh, other people are making sacrifices. Well, you don't know how much of a sacrifice it is for them as compared to
Mhm.
her. Like, is their sacrifice, okay, well, I won't be able to go on the girls' trip that I had planned to go on? Is there sacrifice that okay, I can't do my Starbucks every day? Like her sacrifice seems to be very great, especially saying that it'll put her into a financial situation for the foreseeable future. She's trying
Mhm.
to get a house. Like everything's so expensive right now. Living is so expensive right now. I think Sarah should be more understanding. This girl is not the a-hole.
That and well, one, like you said, if you're having a destination wedding, I think what comes with that is you have to be okay with people not being there
Yep,
because you're choosing to create a vacation event essentially,
exactly.
and not everyone may not be in the position to take a vacation where the parameters are already laid out, where you're going to stay, how much you're going to spend. Typically, they can't control the airfare, but your hand is essentially being forced on how much you're willing to spend. Versus if you just take a vacation on your own, you may say, okay, I want to spend more here, pull back here. And that, that is out of your control when it's a destination wedding. The
Yeah.
other thing I would say too is if this is a genuine friendship and she knows you,
Mhm.
then the way that she's reacting, I don't know. Like if she if Samaria came to me and was like, hey, this is the reasoning why, and
Mhm.
there's a genuine friendship there, I would know, like, okay, this isn't her being a hater or not prioritizing our friendship.
Yeah.
Real life happens. So the fact that she doesn't understand that, I think, is a red flag. And just the friendship overall. Like it can be any insert thing.
Yeah.
Um, I would almost be more understanding if, like, at least she's telling her from the jump, like, hey, I'm
Right.
not going to be able to be there versus two,
Popping
three
up.
weeks before,
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm not going to be able to come. And she's been saying she's been able to come. I don't think that she's being the a hole. I will say, though, that, and it doesn't seem to be this in this situation, but I think sometimes people will prioritize things that are more important to them. So I
Yeah.
could see if this person was traveling here, traveling there, going on other people's trips. And then now that it's come time for yours, it's like, oh, well, I don't have the money. I'm not going to be able to do it, which it would still be her right to
Yeah.
make that decision. But I could understand if it was like, oh, well, you have the funds and the time to be outside any other time. But now when it's my wedding, you don't have it. So,
I
but it
suppose.
doesn't sound like that's this situation. Sounds like
Mhm.
she's frugal overall, trying to make her
Life
goals. So,
decisions. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
And so they put the ages there. So the person who's writing this is 23 years old and Sarah is 25, which they're both young, but
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is 25 too young to realize that everybody not able, like at
Or
this
they
stage
just
of life.
don't want to.
Yeah.
She just may want to travel on her own and it not be around your day.
At a luxurious, how did she say it?
Yeah,
Luxurious resort in a tropical paradise. She made it
yeah.
sound like it's a sandals commercial, girl. So I feel like she put that there to let us know it cost a pretty coin for
And
her to
if
do
and if
that.
she really was like, okay, well, I really want you to be there. And Sarah, if you got it, maybe offer to pay for half.
I have seen that happen with a lot of people where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
if you say, hey, I can't make it because of this, and the friend has it, they're like, okay, I'll cover this portion of it so that way you have less on your plate. Or, you
exactly.
can room with this person and I'll pay your half or whatever. Like, if she really wanted you there. Okay, not that that's an expectation for Sarah because it is her wedding and there are expenses, but if you're not going to do that, at least be understanding. That costs nothing.
And when you read that she was saying that it's at a luxurious resort, as a
Mhm.
person who's planned a destination wedding, I have noticed that some people, when they do theirs, they don't always factor in the range of
Mhm.
the entire group. So
Yes.
when I was planning mine, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I have people who are used to staying at only 5-star Ritz Carlton type resorts. And then I
Mhm.
have college students and, people who are single moms and like they still want to attend. So finding that middle ground, and not everyone aims to do that. They just feel like, oh, it's my day. I'm going to pick where I want. And
Exactly.
then if that means that every person is spending thousands of dollars, and it just is what it is. So I'm not saying for sure that that's this situation, but it might be where she maybe didn't consider the budget of the full group and just maybe just went with what she
She
wanted.
wanted,
Yeah. And it's
which
like
is
you said
fine.
before, it's your day. If it's about you and that it's what you want, it's fine. But if it involves other people, I
What
mean,
I need
yeah.
from you is understanding. Okay.
Yeah.
All
All
right. We're gonna go on to the next one. Don't forget, y'all, to leave in the comments what you guys think about these scenarios. Are they the a-hole and your justification? All right. So this next one says, "Am I the a-hole for not giving my married friend a +1 to my wedding?" Before I read this, do you have a rule on this? Because I know some people are very passionate about this. They're like, if they're married, you have to do the +1. So how do
I
you?
think I mean, just for proper etiquette, I feel like you should if you know that they're married.
Hmm. Interesting.
Or even if I don't know their spouse, I would just assume that the spouse was coming. I would count them
Interesting. So
anyways.
to me,
So
it depends. So
Oh.
if you have, yeah, but take my opinion with a grain of salt, y'all. I don't know nothing, but it does depend. So, for example, if it's if you have a large family, which I do, and you want your cousins to be there, but you're not as close with their spouses or whatever, you know that they'll have other people who they know and who they connect with present. I might save the money. Yeah.
Let's read on.
All right. I, 33-year-old male, am getting married next summer. I invited a friend from university to my wedding, but intentionally did not give him, sorry, intentionally did not give him a +1 for his wife. His wife and I do not get on. Okay. His wife and I do not get on. She attended university with us, and we had our fair share of fights then, and a rather large fuss some 5 odd years ago. We live on opposite sides of our country and only see each other a couple times a year, if that, for special occasions like other friends' weddings. His wife and I can be generally cordial now, but mostly avoid or ignore one another. They got married around 4 years ago, and I was not invited to their wedding. Mm.
Mm.
My friend told me in no uncertain terms that he wanted me there, but his wife did not, and that he chose to respect her wishes on her big day. I was disappointed, but understanding and never let it affect our friendship. I am having a big wedding and all guests with spouses. Hold on. This person is rubbing it in. Okay. I'm sorry. I am having a big wedding and all guests with spouses, fiancés, and serious boyfriends or girlfriends are getting +1s, except for said friend.
Well,
It is not a numbers issue. I simply do not want his wife in attendance. I have considered the likelihood that my friend will RSVP no, given the lack of a +1, but I am okay with this outcome. I have no intention of telling him ahead of time that most others are getting a +1, but I'm aware that he is most likely going to find out. My fiance and I obviously discussed this matter, and she is fully supportive of this decision. Other friends that I have spoken to tell me that I'm being ruthless and basically should not have even invited my friend if I wasn't going to give him a +1 for his wife. So am I the a-hole? There is an
mm,
edit, but I'm gonna have us like react to that first.
yeah. So I want to back up a bit because around the part where it says that the other couple got married about 4 years ago, he told me in no uncertain terms that he wanted me there, but his wife did not. First of all, why you have to run and tell that you wanted him there, but she didn't?
People don't know when to use their lie button. And this is the like, just tell them we can't afford to have you.
Why would you even do that? But that says a lot. Uh, I'm gonna say that he is the a-hole in this, only because if every other person, I mean, if you're having a big wedding, I guess what's the big deal? Like, this beef must run deep, I guess. If it's not a numbers issue, out of everyone, even the non-serious girlfriends are allowed to do.
No, he said serious boyfriends and
Okay, well,
girlfriends.
serious girlfriends, but even still, I
Still,
know
yeah.
people are like, okay, if y'all aren't engaged, at least we're not spending the extra money. So it's not a money thing, it's not a numbers thing, it's I don't want you. So
There.
it's
Mhm.
it feels a bit over the top because how would you even notice that she's there? Do you think that she's going to be giving you dirty looks on your way?
For someone who is a 33-year-old male, I do think this is very messy. I think he's being very petty.
Yes,
Especially he's even being petty in writing this. He's like, everybody got a +1. I just
but
don't want
you
her there. Right. You're the only one who knows. Like, come on. He's like, I'm not gonna tell him, but he gonna find out. Like, why? Just don't invite him at all. Like, and here's the thing. He
he's
probably
trying to send a
understands.
message with that, I think. But
Yeah. Wait, with not inviting him, he'll send a message?
yeah, because it's like, okay, well, I didn't get an invite to your wedding, so I'm gonna send an invite for mine, but you won't get one.
It's so interesting. I feel like if you didn't invite me to yours, it's okay for me not to invite you to
Why
mine.
even send it? It's to be petty. It's to get
Exactly.
back.
And I feel like that shouldn't affect the friendship. It's just like, okay, we understand that we're the friends who can get cut from the numbers if need be. Like I don't see anything wrong
And
with that.
he chose to still stay friends with him even after he didn't
Despite.
get an invite to their wedding. So it's like, okay, now my time has come. It just makes sense that we do it this way. But no,
Yes.
you want to send the invite so she sees it in the mail?
And that's the thing, like in the situation I just gave, oh, this person didn't invite me to theirs, so I think we're still cool if I don't invite them to mine. It's a numbers thing. For
Hmm.
this person, he's made it very clear. I got the money. The numbers are on my side. I just want to make a statement. And it's like, you too old to be doing that. I'm sorry.
And this beef y'all had was from years ago,
At least five
college.
years. The big one was 5 years ago. Like, baby, you were 28.
How much would you even notice if this is such a big wedding? And if you're the bride and groom, you really like it's a whirlwind. You aren't even really paying as much attention to each individual person or thing. So yeah, this is definitely petty and on purpose.
I will say, not in this case, because we've already established that this is petty McPetty pants. But
Mm-mm-mm.
I will say I understand not wanting someone who you don't like there. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh yeah.
the wife's reason for not inviting him to their wedding 4 years ago. I get it. Like it's your special day. Why would you want someone who you just don't get along with clearly there? But this person is definitely just being petty about it. So yeah, you definitely are the a-hole.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say before I read the edit?
No, you can read the edit.
Okay. Since a lot are asking about the fuss, I'll give a little more context. Please do. We're
He's
invested
sassy.
now. You might as well. Okay. She cheated on my friend at university. They broke up. I was not as warm to her afterwards, but not outwardly mean. She wanted him back. He asked for advice. I said, don't do it. He took her back anyways, obviously, his right to do so, but I remained more distant from her. I could see myself being this friend, like, okay,
Mm,
you like it, I love it, but actually I don't love it, so I'm gonna distance myself.
mm-hmm.
Not sure if my friend told her that I advised they remain broken up. Would not be surprised if he did, or if it was just me not being as friendly, but she turned nasty on me. 5 years ago, I called her out for her, can we say bitchy on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Behavior after she hurt me with multiple rude comments. Alcohol was involved, and admittedly, I could have handled the situation with more finesse. Our interaction ruined a wonderful evening. Once we sobered up the following day, I apologized for my part and expected the same in return. Instead, she not only refused to apologize or accept any blame, she also entirely rejected my apology. I never seen nobody reject an apology. Like,
Mm.
okay, does that change your mind?
Even more reason why to not send an invitation at all. No, she should not be at your wedding. I agree. But you
Yeah.
should not send an invitation to him only. Also, as a friend, why would you even want to put him in that position? You know she don't care for you and who
You
knows
don't
what
care for
their
her.
yeah, what their dynamic is like. She may feel away if he goes without her. Yeah. Just don't even send it.
But okay. Yeah. The funny thing is, the friend is the biggest op in all of this because he talks too much. Like,
He really
the
is.
friend talks entirely too. He be spilling all the beans that don't need to be spilled. Like, you did not have to go back and tell this woman because I'm 100% sure he did. You did not have to go
Oh,
back and
yeah.
say, oh, such and such said that I shouldn't get back with you. And why is she mad that someone said don't get back with you after you cheated? Like, girl, that's most people's advice. So maybe you shouldn't have cheated. Like, what? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so that was our last one, but please let us know in the comments that if you send a wedding invitation, do you feel like if the person has a spouse, it is proper etiquette to invite the spouse? Would you also extend that to fiancés or serious boyfriends and girlfriends? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll hopefully be doing another one of these soon. So check out our episodes, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.